Hey, hello leaders. This is Paul Grau Jr. and welcome back to Run to Your Leadership Challenges. So today I'm still traveling this whole week, so I'm going back to the vault, and I think this one today applies just as much today as it did 5 or 6 years ago, as it did 20 years ago. But it's really relevant for today's world because I'm going to be talking about how courtesy is no longer common. You remember the old phrase, common courtesy, use common courtesy, or use common sense? Sometimes I don't think sense is too common either, because I mean, it happens all around us, whether we're in the work environment or outside of work. People just are not courtesy. People don't think about other people nowadays. So let's listen to this old show, and I think you're going to enjoy it because it's very relevant. Here we go. Let me ask you a question. You remember the old saying, common courtesy? Well, is courtesy still common, or has it become a lost art? Well, today's challenge is about common courtesy, but it's also for me to admit that I failed at running to a challenge recently. And I want to ask for your forgiveness and help. Let me tell you a short story. A few weeks ago, I was at a conference, and this conference had a lot of breakout training sessions. One of the early breakout sessions I was in, the speaker was very engaging and dealing out a lot of great info. I was taking quite a few notes in this first session, the old-fashioned way, with pen and paper, when the person sitting next to me just all of a sudden started pounding away on their laptop. I mean, I think they had the noisiest computer keys known to man. Well, it was obvious I wasn't the only one being bothered by the noisy version of this note-taking, because several other attendees were turning around and sighing as the person continued just to pound away. Oddly enough, nobody said anything to this person. Everyone simply gave obvious looks and sighs to show their displeasure and disapproval. But the person pounding on the laptop was either completely oblivious to the hints or simply didn't care. I mean, I know they saw people looking at them. Well, afterwards, I realized I missed a golden opportunity to run to a challenge. I failed to say anything to that person. Just like everyone else there, we all failed to say a thing. And not only that, but that whole situation was not isolated. Every breakout session I went into after that had people pounding away on their laptops all around me. And I saw the same frustrated look and heard the same frustrated sighs from people. Yet nobody said anything, including myself. Again, I failed to run to a challenge. Maybe I'm old-fashioned, but it was a distraction. I understand laptops make noise, but is it just me, or does anyone else think that it gets to a point where it becomes rude? I mean, I wouldn't think of pounding away on my computer when I see people turning around and sighing. I would get out the old-fashioned notebook and start taking notes. But regardless, I failed to run to a challenge. Now, granted, it appears, looking back on the situation, that I was obviously fighting a losing battle, as there were tons of people pounding away on their noisy laptops without a care in the world. Then it hit me. These people aren't necessarily rude or lacking in courtesy. I think it's probably just the way they're wired. It's probably going back to the way their personality or leadership style is. The people that were pounding away on the computers were probably just high D's or high I's on the DISC assessment. And quite frankly, at times, they really aren't concerned about anyone around them if they are getting things done. If they're working and they're jamming along, they could care less if it's bothering people. But that's just the way they're wired. Now, they aren't always like that, but sometimes maybe they are. Maybe the people are like that. So basically, if that type of noisy note-taking bothers anyone else besides me, we have several options. We can say something to the person right next to us, which they probably won't care and will continue pounding away. Or maybe they will. Maybe they don't realize, and maybe they don't realize how much they're bothering you. Or we can move seats and try to strategically select a seat around people who have the old-fashioned notebooks out. Or, you know what? We can find an isolated area where nobody else is around. In the case of the conference, I would guess it would be at home watching or listening via live stream. Now, the bottom line here is there are 4 primary personalities according to the DISC assessment and a vast amount of combinations. And we work with every different kind of combination. There's people in our work centers that have a different variety of personalities. It starts with the leader. How can we show respect towards all the different personalities while accomplishing what we need to do? Well, it takes work. It takes studying and learning all the different personalities and learning how to best communicate with them. It takes knowing what triggers exist in each of the different personalities, and it takes a lot of effort on everyone's part. However, it really starts with us, the leaders. We need to show that we are willing to be courteous towards everyone. That's not always easy, and like me at the conference, running to your challenge is not always easy. I failed to address a challenge, but I'm going to learn from it, and I'm going to handle it better next time. So, what about you? What challenge do you know of that you've avoided? What's the best way that you can address it? Is it a matter of differing personalities? Is it a matter of the leader not leading by the right example? Start by thinking about the challenges that you know you need to run to. Then start planning how you can approach them. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode. As always, please share this briefing with coworkers and every other leader you know, and especially your HR directors and your CEOs, so you can all run to your challenges in your organization. As always, please subscribe so you never miss another episode, and feel free to contact me directly at Paul Grau, that's PaulGrau, at currentleadershipcoaching.com. Thank you, and until tomorrow, run to your challenges.